Welcome back to my channel. Today, we step into a courtroom where the truth finally refuses to stay buried. The camera glides across a silent courtroom. You can almost hear hearts beating faster than the ticking of that wall clock. Christine Brown sits perfectly still, but the storm behind her eyes could shatter glass. Across the room, Kody leans into Robyn, pretending to be calm, his hand gripping hers so tightly his knuckles turn white. The air is heavy, suffocating. Years of secrets, control, and manipulation have finally reached Judgment Day. Because today, the sister wives aren't family anymore. They're opponents in court, and one signature hidden deep inside a fake bank transfer might prove that the man who preached unity was actually funding Robyn's quiet empire behind everyone's backs. How far would you go to protect your family? If the one stealing from you is your husband? The judge's footsteps echo. Christine doesn't flinch. She knows this isn't just about money. It's about truth, betrayal, and the collapse of a man who once claimed to be their spiritual leader. Outside, the courthouse steps gleam in the cold morning sun. Christine tightens her coat, the folder in her hand trembling slightly. Beside her, Janelle walks in silence, her face calm, but her eyes burn with betrayal and fire. They've stood beside Kody before, smiling for cameras, selling the illusion of harmony. But today, there are no smiles left to fake. Inside, whispers ripple through the gallery. Cameras click. Reporters murmur, sister wives, lawsuit, family imploding. Kody and Robyn enter last. His hair slicked, his suit perfect, his ego unbent. Robyn clings to his arm, eyes glistening, the perfect portrait of performance grief. Christine can barely look at them, because she knows what's inside that folder she's holding, the truth that will burn it all down. Brown versus Brown, the clerk calls. A divided family, once united by faith, now shattered by fraud. Christine's mind drifts back to when she first realized something was wrong. It started small, a missing tuition payment, an empty account. Kody brushed it off. Then came the shiny new SUV, the designer jewelry, the trips. It wasn't jealousy. It was math. The numbers didn't lie. Kody did. That's when Janelle dug deeper. Transfers, neat, round figures sliding quietly into Robyn's company. Too clean to be coincidence. When they confronted Kody, he exploded, accusing them of betraying God's structure. But the truth was already unraveling in his eyes. Now, as Christine sits in court, her attorney, Morgan Tate, whispers, "Remember, today is about the paper trail, not the pain." But Christine's pain is the paper trail. Every sleepless night. Every time she was gaslit into silence. Every smile she faked for the cameras. Kody smirks across from her. Robyn dabs her tears just enough to look tragic. The performance is nauseating. Judge Keller enters, composed, commanding. She scans the files, her expression tightening. This isn't just a reality TV scandal. It's fraud. It's betrayal. It's real. Morgan rises. Your Honor, this case involves misappropriation of family funds, diverted without consent by Mr. Brown into accounts controlled by Mrs. Robyn Brown. Kody shifts. That's not true, he growls, loud enough for Christine to hear. The judge doesn't look up. You'll have your turn, Mr. Brown. Because when truth finally surfaces, the loudest man in the room is usually the most afraid of silence. Christine's fingers tighten around her folder. She remembers the moment she found it. A bank statement hidden inside Robyn's old paperwork. $75,000 withdrawn for renovations. No renovations ever happened, except maybe in Robyn's lavish new house. That's when Christine knew. This wasn't just emotional betrayal. It was criminal. She gathered everything, every receipt, every printout, and showed it to Janelle. Janelle's silence said it all. Then finally she whispered, "He used our kids' college money." That was the breaking point. Now, under oath, Christine watches as the defense attorney stands, slick, smiling, rehearsed. Your Honor, he says smoothly, this isn't fraud. It's a misunderstanding. A redistribution of family funds under a shared faith structure. Christine almost laughs. Redistribution? That's what they call theft now? Janelle leans close. Stay calm. But Christine's heart is racing. Robyn sniffles on cue, tissue trembling like a prop in a well-rehearsed scene. Because the most dangerous lies are always the ones told with sincerity. The judge calls a recess. Christine walks out into the marble corridor. The air smells of disinfectant, cold, sterile, unforgiving. Beyond the doors, reporters are already spinning their headlines. Janelle leans in, voice low but fierce. He's going to turn this into a sermon. Play the martyr. Christine nods. Let him, she whispers. Because this time I brought the proof. Because this time I brought the proof. Today we return to that same courtroom where truth is no longer a whisper. It's a reckoning. The air feels colder now. Christine and Janelle walk toward a courthouse bench, the weight of years pressing down on every step. Christine clutches her folder to her chest like a shield, her voice barely above a whisper. I used to think he loved us all equally, she says. My entire life was built on that belief. Janelle meets her gaze, voice calm but carved in iron. He didn't love us, she says. He loved control. The double doors swing open. Kody steps out, Robyn clinging to his arm like a lifeline. His voice slices through the air, venom in every syllable. You think taking this to court makes you good people? You're killing what little family we have left. Christine's head rises slowly, eyes like steel polished by heartbreak. No, Kody, she says. You did that the moment you started treating love like a business. The silence that follows feels alive, thick, heavy, unbreathable. Robyn trembles, her voice breaking. You don't know everything, Christine. Christine doesn't look away. Then tell me what I don't know. Robyn's mouth opens, but Kody's hand snaps out, gripping her wrist, pulling her back. For just a second, something flickers in her eyes. Fear? Guilt? Both? Whatever it is, it's enough to make Christine realize there's more here than stolen money. There are buried secrets. Back inside the courtroom, Judge Keller calls everyone to attention. Morgan Tate stands, her presence calm, razor sharp. Paper rustles. Documents slide across polished wood. The truth now reduced to black ink on white pages. Your Honor, Morgan says, these transfers, all within a 3-month period, were made to a secondary account under Mrs. Robyn Brown's business, LRB Holdings. Judge Keller's brow tightens. Kody's jaw locks. Robyn shifts, eyes darting, her breath shallow. This is it, the paper trail. Proof of betrayal. But proof alone doesn't show why. Because truth doesn't destroy families. It only reveals who's been destroying them all along. When the judge calls for lunch recess, Kody leans close to Christine, his whisper sharp enough to sting. You don't know what you've started. She freezes, then meets his gaze with unshakable calm. No, Kody, I know exactly what I've started. The gavel slams once. Its echo lingers in cold, final absolute. As Christine and Janelle walk out, the camera lingers on Robyn. She stays seated, tears drying, her hands trembling as she stares at the folder in her lap. Then, a flash of silver beneath the papers. A flash drive. She slips it quietly into her purse, eyes flicking toward Kody. He doesn't notice. But she does. And whatever's on that drive could change everything. The courthouse cafeteria hums with soft chatter, but in a quiet corner, Christine and Janelle sit in silence. Christine's mind won't stop circling that flash drive. What's on it? Financial data? Emails? Evidence of something darker, something personal. Janelle breaks the silence first. You saw it too, didn't you? Christine nods slowly. She's not careless, Janelle. She brought that on purpose. Cameras flash across the room. Reporters prepare for the afternoon session. They know this isn't just a case anymore. It's history unfolding on live TV. You think she'll use it? Christine asks quietly. Janelle exhales, voice low. Depends on who it hurts more. Kody or us. Because when betrayal sits between two people, trust becomes the rarest currency of all. The bailiff's voice booms down the hallway. Court is back in session. Christine straightens her blazer, the rhythm of her heartbeat matching her footsteps. Every eye follows her. Reporters, cameras, even the judge, who now understands this isn't just civil litigation. It's the collapse of a kingdom built on lies. Kody leans toward Robyn, his words low and cruel. Her face drains of color. Her trembling hand won't leave that purse, that flash drive. Judge Keller re-enters, gavel striking once. Court is now back in session. Morgan rises immediately. Your Honor, we are submitting new evidence. Bank statements showing an intentional effort to conceal funds under the guise of family business expenses. Kody snorts, his voice booming. This is absurd. The judge's glare silences him instantly. Mr. Brown, you will control yourself or I'll hold you in contempt. For the first time, Kody Brown isn't in control of the room. And Christine feels it in that small, quiet victory. Morgan continues, laying down the evidence. These payments were funneled through an LLC owned by Mrs. Robyn Brown, labeled as Family Emergency Fund, then withdrawn in cash shortly after. Robyn's face flushes crimson. That's not what it seems. She stammers. Morgan tilts her head. Then perhaps you can explain where $25,000 in cash went on February 16th. Robyn turns to Kody. He won't look at her. The courtroom holds its breath. Judge Keller leans forward. Mrs. Brown, would you like to answer the question? Robyn swallows hard. It was for a family emergency. Morgan's voice sharpens. Which family, Mrs. Brown? Mine. The word hangs in the air like a confession. Christine's jaw tightens. Janelle's eyes widen. Morgan presses on. So money that belonged to all wives, meant for shared expenses, was taken without consent for your personal use? Yes, Robyn whispers. I didn't mean to... Kody slams his hand on the table. Stop, this is manipulation. They're twisting our faith into filth. The judge's gavel cracks down. Mr. Brown, sit down. The room freezes. Kody sinks back into his chair, eyes locked on Christine. Full of fury, not remorse. Because anger is the last refuge of the guilty when truth finally corners them. Morgan steps toward the stand, voice steady. Mrs. Brown, remember, you are under oath. If you possess any documentation or digital correspondence that clarifies these transactions, now is the time to present it. Robyn's eyes flick to her purse. Christine notices. So does the judge. Mrs. Brown, Judge Keller says evenly, do you have anything in your possession relevant to this case? The courtroom holds its breath. Robyn hesitates, eyes darting between Kody and the judge. I may. She slowly reaches into her bag, trembling, and sets the flash drive on the table. Its small metallic click echoes like thunder. Every reporter leans forward. Christine's heart pounds. Because that tiny piece of metal might hold the key, not just to Kody's fraud, but to every lie they've ever told. Kody's fraud. But to every lie they've ever told. Your Honor, Morgan says, voice steady, if it please the court, we request permission to examine the contents of this device. Judge Keller gives a solemn nod. Proceed. The clerk inserts the flash drive into the computer. The screen flickers, then stabilizes. A list of files appears. PDFs, emails, images, folders, every one of them a potential confession. Christine's heartbeat is audible in her own ears. Then, her eyes catch one email. Subject, transfer confirmation, confidential. Date, 2 months after Kody swore they were broke. Morgan clicks it open. The courtroom holds its breath. A single image fills the screen. Kody Brown's signature, bold, unmistakable, approving a transfer of $120,000 from the family business account to an organization registered under Robyn Brown's name. Attached beneath it, a handwritten note. Keep this between us. The others wouldn't understand. Kody, gasps erupt through the courtroom like shrapnel. Somewhere, a reporter's pen drops to the floor. Christine's world tilts. Not with triumph, but heartbreak. Because this isn't justice yet. It's exposure. And exposure burns everyone it touches. Judge Keller's voice cuts the silence. Cold. Controlled. Mr. Brown, did you approve this transfer? For the first time, Kody's voice shakes. It wasn't theft. It was management. They don't understand how much pressure I was under. Christine can't stay silent. Her voice cuts sharp. Pressure doesn't give you the right to steal from your family. The judge glances at her but doesn't reprimand. The truth in her tone is undeniable. Morgan speaks calmly. Your Honor, we request a full forensic audit of all accounts connected to the Browns' family business. We believe there is more. Kody's attorney rises, desperate. Objection! Overruled, Judge Keller interrupts. The gavel strikes. Christine exhales a short, trembling breath. For the first time, the scales begin to shift. Because justice doesn't knock softly. It breaks the door down. The courtroom empties for recess. Christine lingers, watching Kody and Robyn whisper fiercely near the defense table. Their voices low, but fragments slip through. You promised, Robyn hisses. They'll find out. It's not just money. Those 4 words freeze Christine's blood. Not just money. Janelle approaches quietly. You heard that? Christine nods, her face pale. Yeah, and if it's not money... Her thought trails off as Robyn clutches her purse tightly, like she's afraid of losing more than evidence. When Robyn finally leaves, Kody doesn't follow. For the first time, he looks utterly alone. Christine whispers under her breath. He's hiding something else. Janelle leans close, voice low. What if that flash drive wasn't the only one? Christine's eyes widen. You think she has another? If I were Robyn, Janelle says, and I was scared enough to hand over one, I'd hide another. The clock ticks in the empty courtroom, loud, accusatory. Christine straightens, determination flickering behind her grief. Then that's what we find next. The camera pans to Robyn's purse, still half open. Inside, a faint glint, another flash of silver. Untouched. Waiting. When the court reconvenes, the air feels different. Heavier. Charged. Even the reporters have stopped whispering. They can feel it. Something bigger than money is about to explode. Christine takes her seat. Kody's shoulders slump, his once unshakable posture cracking. Robyn sits beside him, pale, trembling, clutching her purse like it's armor. Janelle leans in. She's hiding something, Christine. You saw the way she flinched when that transfer came up. Christine nods slowly. There's another drive. Because every lie has layers, and every layer hides a deeper truth. Judge Keller clears her throat. Court is now in session. Counsel, you may proceed. Morgan Tate stands. Your Honor, during preliminary review of the flash drive submitted earlier, we believe additional evidence exists that has not yet been disclosed. We request permission to cross-examine Mrs. Robyn Brown. Kody tenses immediately. No, she doesn't have... Mr. Brown, the judge snaps, you are not her attorney. Sit down. Kody's jaw locks. He obeys barely. Robyn's voice trembles. Do I have to? Yes, Mrs. Brown, Judge Keller says firmly. Please take the stand. Robyn rises, her every movement shaking. Morgan approaches, tone soft but surgical. Mrs. Brown, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Morgan folds her hands. You provided a flash drive earlier containing your communications with Mr. Brown. Are there any other electronic records related to this case? Emails, transfers, messages that have not yet been turned over? Robyn hesitates. I don't think so. Morgan tilts her head. You don't think so? Or you don't know? Robyn's lip quivers. There may be one more. A ripple of gasps breaks through the courtroom. Christine's pulse hammers. Judge Keller leans forward. Go on, Mrs. Brown. Robyn's breath shakes as she speaks. It's at home. In a jewelry box. It wasn't meant for anyone to see. Kody's whisper turns to a growl. Don't you dare. Mr. Brown, the judge warns sharply. Tears spill down Robyn's cheeks. It's the second flash drive. The one with the transfers and the messages. Morgan frowns slightly. Messages? Robyn nods weakly. Between Kody and the investors. The ones who helped fund the company. Christine's brow furrows. Investors? Robyn's hands shake harder. He took loans from church members. In our family's name. They don't know. They'll never see it again. The room erupts, voices, gasps, reporters scrambling. The sound of Kody's fist slamming the table silences them all. You don't know what I was doing, he roars, but it's too late. Because now everyone knows what's coming. Not just financial betrayal. Not just moral collapse. Something deeper. Something darker. Something that could destroy the entire Sister Wives empire from the inside. The entire Sister Wives empire from the inside. The gavel slams. Judge Keller, order in the court. Christine's pulse pounds in her throat. Kody's words hang in the air like smoke. I was keeping us safe. She mutters under her breath, trembling. Christine, you are keeping yourself safe. Because every lie spoken out of love eventually becomes a weapon. The bailiff steps forward to calm the growing tension. Kody's glare cuts down the aisle, fury burning behind his eyes. Kody, you don't know what I had to do to keep this family from shattering. Christine rises, voice shaking but razor sharp. Christine, you mean after you dismantled it? Judge Keller, stern. Mrs. Brown, please. Christine gasps and sits, heart hammering. The silence that follows feels heavier than the shouting ever did. Every eye in the room is on her, but she doesn't care anymore. Morgan Tate. Mrs. Brown, could you clarify what you meant by investors? All eyes turn to Robyn. Her voice quivers, fragile but clear. Robyn. They were people from our church. Kody promised them returns from our family business. But the business never made that kind of money. He said Christine and Janelle would sign the renewal papers. They never did. Christine frowns. Christine, what are you talking about? Robyn's voice breaks. Robyn. He forged the signatures. Christine's breath catches. Christine. He what? Morgan's eyes widen. Morgan. Are you saying Mr. Brown forged legal documents using your sister wives' names? Robyn nods, sobbing. Robyn, he said it was just paperwork. That it didn't count because we were family. Kody shoots up from his chair. Kody, that's not true. Judge Keller coldly. Mr. Brown, if this is true, you've committed multiple counts of fraud. Kody presses his palms to his temples, his voice breaking under the weight of his own fury. Kody, you think you can judge me? You think you know what it takes to keep a family like this together? Christine's voice slices through him. Christine, we all did, Kody. We just didn't lie about it. The courtroom falls silent, except for the quiet sound of Robyn crying. Judge Keller, Mrs. Brown, you'll surrender that flash drive immediately. The court will issue an order for retrieval. Robyn nods, shattered. Kody's lawyer leans in to whisper, but Kody waves him off. He just stares down at the table, jaw locked, breathing uneven. Christine studies him. The man who once ruled every room now looks trapped and hollow. For the first time, she isn't afraid of him. In courthouse hallway, recess. The air outside the courtroom is lighter, but cold. Janelle exhales hard. Janelle. Forgery, financial fraud, church investors. He's finished. Christine shakes her head slowly. Christine, not yet. Not until that second flash drive surfaces. That's where the real damage is. Janelle folds her arms. Janelle, you think Robyn will hand it over? Christine glances down the corridor. Robyn stands alone, clutching her purse, eyes swollen. For a moment, she looks like she might approach them, then turns and walks the other way. Silence follows her. Guilt always walks quieter than innocence. It doesn't need to explain itself. In courtroom, late afternoon. The bailiff announces recess is over. The judge dismisses everyone for the day. Christine gathers her things slowly. Papers scatter across Kody's empty chair. That space between them, the one that once held love, is now just silence. As she reaches the door, Morgan steps in her path. Morgan, we'll subpoena the second flash drive tomorrow morning. Christine nods, but Morgan doesn't move. Morgan, quietly, be prepared. Whatever's on it, it may not only bring down Kody. Christine freezes. Christine, what are you saying? Morgan, emails, transactions, commingled accounts. If he used your name, whether you knew or not, you could be implicated. The words hit her like ice. Christine glances through the glass wall of the courtroom. Kody stands alone. His reflection fractured across the glass panes. He looks up, meeting her eyes with the faintest, ugliest smile. If I fall, you fall too. Narration. When you drag a deceiver into the light, remember, shadows cling to whoever stands closest. Christine's hand trembles on the door handle. This trial isn't about betrayal anymore. It's about survival. Security camera footage, night. The courthouse corridor flickers in grainy grayscale. Robyn slips out a side door, clutching a velvet jewelry box tight against her chest. Inside, the second flash drive glints faintly under the exit sign. Small enough to hide in her palm, heavy enough to destroy everything. In courtroom, next morning. Rain lashes the courthouse windows, steady and merciless. Christine sits beside Janelle, sleepless, haunted by the image of Robyn holding that box. If her name really appears in Kody's accounts, she knows. This won't end clean. Kody enters, same suit as yesterday, but stripped of pride. Robyn follows, eyes puffy, jewelry box still in hand. Judge Keller. Mrs. Brown, the court understands you've brought further evidence. Robyn nods weakly. Robyn. Yes, Your Honor. The bailiff takes the box and opens it carefully. Inside, the second flash drive. A single object, silver and unassuming, yet heavy enough to end lives. Morgan steps forward. Morgan. With the court's permission, we'll display the files publicly. The judge nods. A technician plugs it in. The monitor lights up. Rows of folders appear. PDFs, emails, recordings. Then one folder stands out. Private ledger, do not share. Morgan clicks. Streams of transactions flash across the screen. Money moving through accounts linked to Kody, Robyn, and third parties. Christine's eyes widen. Her own name appears. Christine whispering, "That's not me." Her forged signature sits under a transaction worth thousands. Narration. The cruelest betrayal isn't being lied to. It's being made part of the lie. Morgan zooms in on one highlighted transfer. Morgan. This one connects directly to an account in Christine Brown's name. The room goes still. Christine can barely breathe. Room goes still. Christine can barely breathe. Rain pounds the courthouse windows. The air inside feels like static, charged, waiting to explode. Morgan Tate, attorney, scrolls through her tablet, voice calm but sharp as glass. Morgan. Your Honor, we found a transfer of $40,000 into a Nevada investment firm. The authorization forms list two names, Kody Brown and Christine Brown of Digital Inc. The judge nods. Judge Keller. Mrs. Brown, did you approve this transfer? Christine rises slowly. Her voice trembles, but her eyes burn. Christine. No, Your Honor, I've never seen that document in my life. Kody shifts in his chair, fingers twitching, jaw tight. The judge leans forward. Judge Keller, Mr. Brown, did you have your wife's permission to sign her name on those papers? Kody doesn't answer. His silence is the answer. Christine, you forged my name? He looks up finally, voice cold, brittle. Kody, you'd never have understood the business. I was securing our future. Christine's voice cracks, anguish spilling out. Christine, by stealing our children's future? Robyn covers her mouth, weeping softly. Christine turns on her, her eyes wide with sudden understanding. Christine, you knew, didn't you? You knew he was doing this in my name. Robyn nods through tears. Robyn, he said it was only temporary. He promised he'd fix it before anyone found out. Christine slams her hands on the table. Christine, temporary? You let him make me a criminal. Judge Keller, order! Mrs. Brown, control yourself. Morgan steps in smoothly. Morgan, Your Honor, this isn't confusion. This is premeditated fraud. The record clearly shows forged signatures. The judge nods grimly. Judge Keller, a handwriting expert will verify the claim. Kody's lawyer stands desperate. Defense, my client acted on family authority. Judge Keller, without written consent, that defense is worthless. Sit down. Kody mutters to himself, face red, voice shaking. Robyn won't look at him. Morgan continues scrolling. Morgan, there's more. Audio files labeled investor meetings. She taps one. Kody's voice fills the courtroom. Steady, arrogant. Kody, recording. They'll never know. It's all internal. My wives trust me. They sign what I tell them to. They don't ask questions. Gasps ripple through the gallery. Christine's breath catches. Morgan. Mr. Brown, would you like to explain what context makes that statement acceptable? Kody opens his mouth, then stops. Nothing comes out. Robyn whispers, shaking. Robyn, he made me record that. He said it was insurance, in case someone betrayed him. Christine turns, horrified. Christine, insurance? You built an empire of lies and called it insurance. Judge Keller, Mrs. Robyn Brown, you have two choices. Testify in full or face perjury charges. Decide now. Robyn wipes her face, trembling. Robyn, I'll testify. A silence heavier than grief fills the courtroom. Later, Robyn takes the stand. Robyn, he told me to transfer the money. Said it was for property in Arizona. But it went to a personal account in his name. I helped him move it. I thought it was legal. Morgan, how much? Robyn, over $200,000. Christine freezes. Her knees almost buckle. Christine whispers, 200,000. Morgan, did you know he forged Christine Brown's signature? Robyn, yes. And not hers alone. The courtroom stirs. Morgan, what do you mean? Robyn looks toward Janelle. Robyn, he forged hers too. On the property transfer documents? Janelle stiffens. Her face goes white. Janelle, what? The judge's tone drops like a hammer. Judge Keller, Mrs. Brown, you're affirming both plaintiffs' names were forged? Robyn, yes. He said if I didn't help, he'd cut me off. From the show, the church, from my own kids. The courtroom is dead still. Narrator, voiceover style, control disguised as faith. Is just fear dressed in scripture. The breaking point. Kody leaps up, shouting, Kody, enough! You all lived off my money. You all benefited. Christine, you mean stole. The judge's gavel slams down. Judge Keller, Mr. Brown, sit down or I'll have you removed. Kody's voice cracks. Kody, you can't do this to me. I built this family. Christine rises, trembling but resolute. Christine, no, Kody, you built a fantasy and used us to furnish it. The bailiff steps forward. Narrator, VO, when a kingdom of lies collapses, it doesn't fall quietly. It screams the names of the betrayed. Court adjourns, moments later. Judge Keller, this court will recess. Based on the evidence, this case will be referred to the State Attorney's Office for criminal proceedings. The gavel falls. Robyn leans toward Christine, whispering urgently. Robyn, there's something else you don't know. The second flash drive, it wasn't the last one. Christine's pulse spikes. Christine, what do you mean? Robyn, he made a backup. It's not just about money. It's about the children. The trust funds. The sound fades. The only thing left is the thundering heartbeat echoing through Christine's ears. Montage days later. 3 days of rain. The courthouse looms gray against the storm. The headlines read, Kody Brown indicted, fraud, forgery, trust fund theft. Christine walks through reporters in silence. Inside, the courtroom feels colder than ever. Janelle joins her. Janelle, you ready? Christine, as ready as I'll ever be. The doors open. 2 deputies escort Kody inside. His wrists are cuffed. His eyes are hollow. Narrator VO. Power isn't lost in one blow. It decays one lie at a time. Criminal trial, phase 2. The prosecutor stands. Prosecutor. The state will prove the defendant forged financial documents, misused family trust funds, and rerouted money meant for the children into personal investments. Christine can barely breathe. Children's trust funds. Prosecutor. Mrs. Robyn Brown, when did you discover the withdrawals? Robyn, a year ago. He said it was for taxes. But when I checked, it was gone, all of it. Prosecutor. To confirm, the children's college and security funds were depleted? Robyn, sobbing, everything. Kody breaks in. Kody, it was a loan. It would have paid off if they hadn't interfered. Judge, did you have permission? Kody, quietly. No. Narrator, VO. The moment a liar starts explaining, truth has already won. Prosecutor. And where were those funds routed? Kody hesitates. Kody, an account. In Robyn's name. The courtroom erupts. Robyn cries out, shaking. Robyn, I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. Judge, order. Morgan whispers to Christine. Morgan, that's enough for conviction. Christine doesn't smile. Justice feels hollow. Justice feels like grief wearing a badge. Later, hallway outside courtroom. Rain trickles down the glass. Christine whispers, Christine, he used our children's future to build his ego. Janelle nods. Janelle, he didn't just break us. He broke everything. Narrator, VO. Guilt doesn't always scream. Sometimes it's the silence after believing too much. Final revelation. Back in court, the prosecutor asks, Prosecutor, Mrs. Brown, you mentioned another backup drive. Where is it? Robyn, I don't know. But he said, if it was ever found, it would speak for itself. Prosecutor, what does that mean? Robyn, it proves everything. The show money, fake contracts, offshore accounts. The courtroom erupts. Judge, order, order. Narrator, VO. This wasn't just family betrayal. It was organized deception, disguised as love. Judge, the motion to seize all assets is granted. Kody loses control. Kody, you can't take everything from me. Judge, you already did. Bailiffs move in. Christine watches him being led away, his voice echoing. Kody. You'll regret this, Christine. She whispers back, steady, final. Christine. No, Kody, I regret ever believing you. XT Courthouse night. Thunder cracks. Robyn stands alone, staring out the window. In her purse lies a folded note, Kody's handwriting. If they find the drive, everything ends for all of us. She trembles. The rain grows heavier. Narrator, VO. The truth doesn't die in a courtroom. It waits, buried, for the next storm to dig it up. Fade to black. For the next storm to dig it up. Fade to black.